Let's move into the first subject of the night, which is, are artists like Ye and Drake good for hip hop culture, or are they overrated? So we're going to start this off by throwing it to our guy PAT to speak on the matter. What say you, sir?
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and just start this off by saying that Kanye West is most certainly good for hip hop. Now, as for Drake, I won't say he's good for hip hop, but I won't say he's bad for hip hop either. I know that sounds a little, I know how that sounds. It's kind of like I'm riding the fence with when it comes to Drake, but I'm not gonna say he's good for hip hop. I won't say he's bad for hip hop either. Now with Kanye, I've always liked Kanye's music. And with Drake, Drake's music has always been hit or miss for me. Just being real, I've never really been a fan. And I say that respectfully. His music just bores me. It bores me. And yes, I've taken the time to listen to Drake's music. I've tried to give Drake's music a chance. The fact of the matter is his music is just not for me. Sorry. sorry, but not sorry.
Sorry to cut you off, PAT. So I just have a quick question.
All right.
Would you listen to Drake, Iggy Azalea? Go.
Man, you just put me on the spot.
Yeah.
So why he do you like that, sir?
Yeah. We just need to know.
Well, of course I'm gonna be real with that answer. I'm gonna say Drake because I actually have some of Drake's music. I have his mixtape So Far Gone. I think that's the mixtape that he put out when he was really, getting on like that in the rap game. So Far Gone. I do have that. And I didn't even think it was a bad mixtape, to be honest. But I actually have his music. I've actually taken the time to listen to his music. Iggy Azalea, nah, I never even taken the time to actually listen to any of her stuff really. I mean, I've kind of heard it, heard some of her music, but I never really actually really zeroed in on it and listened to it. You know what I mean? I never took the time to listen. So Drake, I'm gonna say Drake on that one.
All right. So that basically means Iggy Azalea, you need to quit rapping ASAP right now. Quit while you are ahead, child.
I mean, hey, if she wants to keep doing it, that's her thing.
She needs to quit.
I just don't listen to her. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful or anything. It's no disrespect. I have nothing personal against her. It is what it is. It's just I'm not a big fan of this generation's hip hop. And I say that respectfully. I'm just being real. I'm not a fan. There are talented artists out there. There are talented artists of this generation. There's no denying that at all. But just overall, I'm not a fan of, the hip hop of today. Just being real. So going back to Kanye and Drake. So I listened to Drake's most recent album, Certified Lover Boy. That's quite a name right there. But yeah, that the album was boring. I mean, it was just boring. And for those fans out there, I did take the time to listen. Nobody's hating because every time you don't like somebody's favorite artist, you're a hater. You're just
hate that shit right there. Look at the irony there. I hate when people say you're a hater if you don't like someone's shit. That's stupid. But okay.
It's real stupid. It's just I just don't like that person's music. Just like there's artists that I like that you might not like their music. I'm not gonna call you a hater. I mean, we're all entitled to like and dislike what we like and dislike. it's life, you know. So, you know, what with Drake, his music just doesn't have the type of energy and substance that I look for. Like me, I like my rappers with more gusto. I like my rappers with more power. They got to be more powerful. Drake, to me, just doesn't have it. Not saying that he's not a decent rapper, because I will admit he does have his moments. But overall, I think he is underwhelming, especially considering all of the hype and hoopla that's around this guy. So that's my take on Drizzy Drake. Now, when it comes to Mr. West, I've been a fan since his college dropout days. I can
still think that's his best album. That's just me, but hey.
I would say one of them. I like Late Registration. I like both of them. I could comfortably say that College Dropout and Late Registration are classics. I could say that comfortably. Kanye has some good albums after those two, but those two albums right there are classics. Now, as for Kanye and his artistry, I mean, he's made it clear that whether it's within music or even outside of music, he's the type to push the envelope. Now, I don't like to get too heavy into these artists and, you know, what they say or do outside of their craft, but we know how Kanye has been perceived lately. You know, from him saying that George Bush doesn't care about Black people, to him taking the mic away from Taylor Swift and basically ruining her moment, to him supporting Trump and wearing the MAGA hat, all the way to his infamous "Is slavery a choice" statement. So, you know, with all this in mind, we all know that Kanye West is one hell of a dude. Now, I could see why people would say either him or Drake are overrated, or both. I pretty much said why I think Drake is overrated, but Kanye, in my opinion, hasn't been making his best music lately. His more recent albums, in my opinion, are just a reflection of, you know, in my opinion, him, you know, not making his best music. But I will say that his most recent album, DONDA, or DONDA, however you say it, I think DONDA, was an okay album. I thought it was an okay album. It was a little bit too churchy for me, but it was okay. Now,
that's what happens when you date and marry a Kardashian.
Yeah, maybe, you know, you might have a point there. you might have a
damn, bro.
But now there is one song in particular that I do like, and unfortunately, it's actually not on the album. I guess it was leaked, and it wasn't put on the final version. But it's the song "Life of the Party," and it has Andre 3000 on it. And that song right there, man, that song, like, just, I think it's one of the best songs out right now. Just being real. Now, Andre and Kanye both did their thing on that song. And I mean, the production, the beat itself is just, it's just tough. The beat's just really tough. That song in particular honestly gave me goosebumps. And when music does that for me, that means that music has struck a certain chord with me. So I'm gonna just throw that out there. I really like that song. I really wish that song was actually on the album, but you know, I digress on that point. So I think Kanye has been good for hip hop. He's contributed a lot musically, whether it be on the production side, the lyric side, or both. When it comes to both Kanye and Drake, I can say that they both made a lot of rappers feel more comfortable to be themselves. Because if you think about it, prior to Kanye, I mean, you had a lot of fake gangster shit out there. You know, every rapper that was coming out was a drug dealer. Every rapper that was coming out was a killer. Everyone was tough. It seemed like rappers felt like they had to like fit a certain box or just be hard in order to be respected. And I think Kanye changed that by basically helping to bring back what we call quote unquote backpack rap. I think Kanye shifted it and, you know, shifted the landscape in that direction. You know, rappers who came after him didn't feel that they needed to put on a front. Basically, it was cool to be a nerd. You know, Kanye was coming out with the sweaters and the, you know, like he was like a nerdy dude. He's really like the average, ordinary dude out there. You know,
like a college dropout.
Yeah, like, you know, yeah, college dropout. Yeah, we can even say college student, somebody who's in college, you know. Basically. But yeah, the college dropout. You know, he was relatable. He was relatable to the average dude out there. You know, and I think Drake provided some of that too. He brought some of that to hip hop too. You know, because with Drake, you see that he's comfortable in his own skin and he's not trying to be this tough guy, which I'm cool with that. Like, I'm all for rappers being themselves. You know,
talking about that guy who played a character in Degrassi. That's the same guy we're talking about.
Yeah, that guy, but he's being himself though. I'll give him that. You know, because if he was trying to be a gangster, you know, then I'd say something about that. But he's not putting on this front. Like, he's being himself.
I don't know. I mean, everyone called Rick Ross out, you know, that situation when they found out he was a correctional officer and whatnot.
Well, see, that was a problem. In my opinion, that was a problem because, like, he lied about it. He should have just been honest.
Exactly.
He should have been honest up front. Like,
yeah, the difference in that situation. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Pat. But the difference in that situation is exactly what Pat just said. He should have just been honest about it up front. And it really bothers me because Rick Ross music, a lot of his music, I actually really fuck with. But
yeah, I like some of his music.
He stole that man's whole life. The shit he rapping about is not his to rap about. He didn't just say, I'm a show homage to dude. This man literally started rocking the same type of beard as them. I mean, that's some weirdo shit, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's some true shit. Even though Push It is like one of my favorite Rick Ross songs, and Diced Pineapples too. That's a dope song.
Some of those songs some of those Rick Ross albums are tough, especially certain songs. Like a lot of his like laid back kind of stuff, like Port of Miami too. It's a lot of songs on there that I really rock with because like the feel of it is just kind of like chill rap, like the production and the beat of it. I appreciate the artistry behind it because like I'm one of those hip hop fans who actually recognize the production and the effort that go into the beats and the transitions. Like I listen to the whole songs, and Rick Ross produces a lot of music that give you a kind of feel when you're listening to it. It's almost like a yeah, bitch, I'm rolling down Miami with money in my Maybach kind of feel.
Right,
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
Maybach music.
Right, literally Maybach music. But like at the same time, I get so mad at Ross because I'd be like, yo, all you had to do was be you and I could respect you. But because you weren't, I can only go so far with my respect, if that makes sense.
No, I feel you on that. You know, yeah, I think if he was honest, if he was just more upfront and just been like, yeah, I was a correctional officer, then, you know, I don't think it would be as big of an issue. But the fact that he, you know, lied about it, that put some dents in his armor because like, okay, dude, like you're rapping about X, Y, and Z. But all of a sudden we find out that, you know, you was one of them boys and, you know, in the system, you know, you was a correctional officer. And I'm not knocking that. That's a job. It's all good, you know, just be real about it, you know. But, you know, he didn't do that. So that's kind of where the issue was when that happened. But yeah, his music though, I mean, you know, he's got some bangers, you know, I mean, Rick Ross got some bangers, you know, and I'm not like heavy into his music like that, but there are certain songs that he has that I really fuck with. Like, I really fuck with it because, like I said, they're bangers, you know. So that's where I'm at with him. But yeah, with my whole Kanye and Drake spiel, I mean, I pretty much said what I had to say in regards to them, their music, the most recent albums that they put out. You know, just my thoughts on all that. So we can go on, you know, throw it to the next person.
All righty. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and speak on this matter real quick. So for me, and again, for our listeners out there, the question was, are artists like Ye and Drake good for hip hop culture, or are they overrated? So my answer is yes, they are good for the culture. And in my opinion, overrated is a state of opinion. No pun intended, right? Because at the end of the day, whether or not you totally rock with their work, they still put out a quality that's much better than most of today's average rappers.
True.
I mean, to be quite honest, their version of mediocre is better than some of these rappers out today, good or great work, right?
True.
Now,
very true.
If we're talking their moments of like, quote unquote, cooning, right? AKA Ye being a Make America Great advocate and Drake with the whole blackface situation. Okay, in both instances, they were clowns for their participation. It's that simple, right? But at the same time, hip hop is not universal as far as connection goes, i.e., some artists and their views and viewpoints people will connect with and agree upon, and others they won't. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the artist himself doesn't have quality or herself. For example, a lot of people don't agree with Lupe's politics. Okay, but anyone who says that Lupe is not a dope fucking rapper is an idiot. And so those two things don't necessarily have to go together equivocally, right? They don't have to be on the same page. So especially because they respect their craft enough to not just put out any bullshit like most of the artists do today, which I haven't heard anyone who heard both albums say, okay, they just threw that shit together, right? Like you can hear, even if you thought, okay, this could have been a little doper, this could have been a little more excitement, this could have been a little bit of this or that. Okay, cool. It wasn't just no thrown together bullshit like any of these little whatever named rappers have been putting out for like the last 5 years. So, okay, if you ask me, would I rather have the Ye's and the Drakes of the world over, say, the Lil whoever's of the world? I'll take Ye and Drake any day. Because, I mean, okay, let's keep it a buck, right? Both of their recent albums had some songs that were bangers or that were okay, right? And then they had some that were like, bro, what? Like, what you doing? Where were you trying to go with this, right? But for me, the production and lyricism on both were up to par at minimum, in my opinion. And for that, they've at least shown effort, which I'm sorry, is not commonplace anymore in hip hop. I mean, y'all know how I feel about people in hip hop respecting their craft, right? Because I feel like this notion that you should have respect for what you do, and you should have respect for the reason that hip hop was even created, has gotten on the back burner. People don't give a shit anymore. People really, like, you can tell in arguments and conversations with people, and you'll be like, yeah, such and so sold more, though. I literally, this is no bullshit. Again, this is in that rap group that Pat and I are in. I saw a meme in a conversation where a dude posted that the fucking Migos was a better rap group than Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh
I
man!
lost my shit.
You know what? I've seen that before too. Oh man!
I lost my shit, y'all. I lost my shit. I completely lost.
So before, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm gonna tell everybody like this, right? Who in the hell would name themselves Takeoff, Offset, and what's the other one's called? What's his name again?
Takeoff, Offset, and
Quavo, right?
Quavo, yeah.
Y'all sound like a bad Quizno sandwich and whatnot. Don't call yourself a rap group, man.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It was so offensive to me that like I almost took it personally. Like seriously, like I was in my feels in that moment.
That had to be somebody young, like real young.
Yeah, it had to be someone real young.
You know what? I don't even know how old they were, but I will say that I think, Pat, you're right that it was like definitely like the 90s, 2000 generation of kids, because you know it's a lot of them in that.
It must be
saying off the wall shit.
It's like the 2000s.
E-Man, so I think we invited you to the group. If not, I will. But in that group, you'll see a lot of like, oh, y'all old heads think this type of shit, right?
Yeah.
When the reality of it is, no, it's just quality versus bullshit. And their argument was that the Migos made way more money than Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't give a fuck.
And that could be argued too. I mean, we're looking at their careers, and come on now.
Do you know Bone Thugs and Harmony still performs and whatnot? I got a close friend who lives in Wardorf that actually know Bone Thugs and Harmony, has done songs with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and actually performed on stage and opened up for Bone Thugs and Harmony and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
it was crazy.
And they've sold a lot too.
They
sold and that's what I was saying. So first of all,
so many shows.
Yeah, but my thing was, first of all, if you don't recognize the importance of having respect for your craft, whether you're talking about hip hop or not, that enough in itself tells me the type of person you are, and I can only go so far in that conversation with you. But to actually imply that a group like Bone Thugs and Harmony are somehow second to the Migos just because of album sales or record sale or what the fuck ever is so ridiculous and outlandish to me that I just went the fuck off. I just lost it. I was like, I can't even fathom what would make you say that crazy shit out of your mouth, other than you must not have ever even actually heard one Bone Thugs and Harmony song, because one, you could take the worst Bone Thugs and Harmony song and it's better than any song the Migos have ever produced. I can say that with full confidence. I 100% can say that with full confidence. I challenge any one of those weirdo Migos to prove me different. Y'all shit ain't fucking with Bone on any level. I don't care. You can call me an old head, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit, kiss my ass. That's where I'm at. Okay? That's how I feel
song
about
is out there though.
I don't even know. E-Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's not even worth your time to even let me explain this to you. I'm gonna keep shit up. I have never heard one whole Migos album. You know why? Because I love myself. And if I wanted to torture myself, because if I wanted to torture myself, I could find different ways to torture myself. I would do burpees for an hour and a half straight if I wanted to torture myself before I would listen to a whole Migos album.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
I love myself too much.
I respect that answer though.
I love myself too much.
Gotta respect the time. Yep.
Whoa.
But anyway, I digress. The point that I was making is there's no more respect in hip hop for certain people and appreciate their craft and trying to put out quality music, but from a few artists. I don't believe in my heart at all that Ye and Drake tried to put out the quickest thing possible and didn't care about whether or not there was some quality to it. I feel even if you don't 100% rock with one or the other. They definitely tried to put out quality music in these recent albums. It's just some of it, like I wholeheartedly agree with PAT. I actually love that Drake is who he is unapologetically. He's not trying to be something different, as Pat said. He is who he is. Right. But I also found that some of the songs were just a little boring to me. They just fell a little flat. Kanye's album, I liked some of it, and then the same thing, some of it fell a little flat. But if you consider the fact that their worst is almost always better than most rappers who are out today's best, then I have to say, yes, they're good for hip hop. Okay, plus one other thing, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay, when you consider the timing of everything from that aspect, there's some exciting things happening in hip hop right now that they're contributing to. For instance, AZ mixtape is out, right? I haven't heard all of it. AZ. You know, yep. AZ from
the legendary AZ.
Nas homie and shit. AZ, yep. You know AZ, right, man? Yeah. So his mixtape is out, and I haven't heard it yet, but I have heard that it is going off. Not that I'm surprised, right? I'm not surprised. That man is a legend, like Pat said, right? Yep. And then you have Kendrick's album that's coming out soon. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I've not really heard a Kendrick album where I was like, this is trash. I haven't loved every single song that I've ever heard of his, but I've never heard anything where I was like, oh, this is trash. And then J. Cole's Off Season was lit. Okay, I'm a J. Cole fan, but it's still, that aside, if he had to put out something that was trash. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, J. Cole and Kendrick are dope.
Yeah, they are. They both are. So when you look at everything that is happening right now in hip hop, you got fucking after the versus battle, Puda. For those who don't know, Puda is the nickname of Jadakiss. You got Puda and the Dipset planning on going on tour. Hip hop is getting back to an exciting era right now.
Oh, repeat that. What you just said.
You know, Puda and Dipset are planning to go on tour.
See,
they announced that after the verses.
You know, I knew something was fishy about that. I knew something was behind that whole. It was all systematically planned.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah,
of course.
That's
how it works.
I knew it, man.
That's how it works. You know, not just them two. Also, Jeezy and Gucci Mane, and you know they had a beef for years, but they're planning on going on tour right now.
Oh, they're going on tour together? Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that's how artists are using the verses.
That's good because it generates, interest, and of course,
exactly.
It creates hype, and
exactly.
So that's a good look. Yep.
Right. I agree. So I feel like overall, I know I've dragged on here, but I'm wrapping up now. So I feel like overall, they are good for hip hop culture. I feel like overrated. Some of their music can be, and to each their own. Some people may feel they are, some don't, right? But as far as are they good for hip hop culture? Yeah, they are, because they are putting out some level of quality music. And right now, the environment of hip hop is thriving. It's winning. So I appreciate their efforts towards that. So that's my opinion on the matter. We're going to go ahead and throw it to E-Man to wrap us up. Again, the question is, are artists like Ye and Drake good for hip hop culture, or are they overrated? What say you, sir?
All right, towards this being, so before we start, but I will tell everyone like this, I was never a Drake fan and whatnot. Just before I even start anything and whatnot, I have never been a Drake fan. And yes, he's boring to me, and I don't like the guy whatsoever and whatnot. I really don't. And it's not because he's light-skinned and whatnot. I just don't like the guy. and whatnot. So I gotta put it out there. Everything. Everybody feel like I got beef with light skinned dudes.
So is he too light skinned?
He can be too light skinned. I just ain't got no beef with. I just gotta put it out there because everybody be like, man, you feel like you got beef with like everybody, especially these light dudes, like these light skinned dudes, and you dark skinned. I'm just like, man, I ain't got no beef with no light skinned dudes. I just don't like the guy and whatnot. But I just gotta put it. It's not because he's light skinned and whatnot. Just don't like him and whatnot. Now,
yeah, okay.
So towards his being overrated, a little bit, yay. You know, for Drake, you know, for Mr. West and whatnot. I mean, Mr. West has been a producer, so towards him rapping, I give him his respect and whatnot because College Dropout was dope. I ain't gonna lie. I got the album. I still got the album, and that shit's dope and whatnot. Late Registration wasn't my cup of tea. There was a few songs I liked on there, but you know, I've never disrespected Mr. West because he puts out, you know, good music and whatnot. You know, is Kanye a little bit overrated? Everyone has their yes or no. In my eyes, I feel like he gets the hype to be overrated, but you know, to me, I feel like Kanye's just an average rapper and whatnot. You know, hell of a producer, but to me, an average rapper and whatnot. But I love the guy and whatnot. That's why I give him a lot of respect. So, but I would say Kanye is definitely towards what he puts out is definitely there because a lot of people definitely want to work with Kanye. And we're talking about actual artists and whatnot, actual people and whatnot, you know? So I give them that respect and they all come together and they make good music and whatnot. For Drake and whatnot, man, I wish someone would just slap him sometimes. I don't know, man. Just one person just be like, you know, he just say something, just go pow, and slap him in his face and everything. So I can see it on television and I can laugh and be like, yeah, nigga, you deserve it and whatnot. That's just me and whatnot. That's just me.
Right.
You know? That's so just weird. Me. You know, that's just me. Because I don't like him
so
and whatnot.
Weird, bro.
Man, yeah. So, you know, I always thought that Drake was a copycat of Lil Wayne and whatnot. I still believe that. Everyone can fight me on that, you know? But
take.
Yeah. He tried to play like he was like R. Kelly doing this whole rapping and singing thing, you know, I think on his first mixtape and whatnot. So I was like, you ain't fooling me. So, but Audrey just like I'll tell everybody like this. I would have actually been a believer of Drake if he would have gotten his team to go diss Kendrick Lamar, all right, over the King Kuda beef, like that diss that K Dot hit over there with at Drake and whatnot. If he would have came up with that and got his team and be like, we about to go after Kendrick Lamar, I'd be like, you know what, brother, I'm gonna respect your team for getting you together to go write some bars to go after Kendrick Lamar. I give you the respect. That don't mean I like you, but I would have gave you respect. But no, nigga, you went over there to go pick on Meek Mills and whatnot. A nigga who's a battle rapper, but he ain't that fluent with his bars and whatnot. You gonna go pick on a little nigga and whatnot. I thought you were a big nigga.
Whoa. Yeah. Wait. Stop. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What? You said Meek?
Yeah. Meek Mills towards where he's like, I ain't got no disrespect to Meek Mills. He got good music, but like towards everything else, right now he's a little nigga right now and whatnot. Like music's good, but because of the whole him and his Drake with beef with Drake and whatnot, seemed like his
oh, you talking about the Meek Drake beef specifically, not
it's the rap beef and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought because I was about to say what.
That was actually
no. He's an excellent rapper and whatnot, but his stock fell down.
I was going to say he's a battle rap, like
his stock fell down because of him supposedly messing around with Drake and whatnot. See, that was his fault, messing around with a kid who got a whole team that write his bars for him and help him out and whatnot.
Damn,
that's his fault.
Not a team of ghostwriters. Damn.
So, but
that happens. That happens with some of these rappers. Like some of them actually will get a team of ghostwriters. There's multiple writers in that room.
Mm-hmm. No, I believe you. because you know Cameron was a ghostwriter at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
he's a ghostwriter too.
Mm-hmm. So, but to end my thought and whatnot, because there's not much I gotta say. I'm gonna just say, based upon me, I wouldn't say my weird conspiracy like theories and whatnot, but supposedly, when I think this is like, the 20th like anniversary of September 11th, it's also the same anniversary, when Kanye said, George Bush don't like black people, and it was also the same time he dropped the same album, and then Katrina hit, and then we got a whole new hurricane that hit and whatnot, and then Kanye's in the news with the same thing. So it seemed like the same 4 events that happened when that 20 years ago when that album dropped is basically the same thing that's going on right now. That's just me following the dots and whatnot. But I don't disrespect Mr. West. You keep doing your thing and just keep being you and whatnot. And that's what I respect. But to Drake and whatnot, I'm going to just let you know that basically I don't have no beef with you. I will let you know that very clearly. I have zero beef with you and whatnot, All I'm just saying is you can go get your team of writers and whatnot and continue making your boring music and keep being boring and whatnot. But my ass will not listen to your boring ass and whatnot. And it's not because you're light skinned and whatnot. I'm going to just put it out there again and whatnot. I have no beef with light skinned dudes at all and whatnot. I just don't like Drake and whatnot because you're a copycat of Wayne and you don't want to admit it. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
Okay. Very interesting points. Thank you, sir. Thank you, E-Man. Thank you, Mr. PAC. I'm sorry, I'm only laughing because of your emphasis on it. It's not because you're light skinned.
It's not because you're light skinned. I just want to let everybody know I ain't got.
It's just such a weird.
I feel like that'll be like the first thing that come up. Oh, you don't like Drake?
Well, now you know it's some people would actually come to the conclusion that he must hate this dude because he's light skinned. Because some people draw that conclusion because the colorism is a real thing.
Colorism is a real thing, yeah, but it's just it was so random. That's why it threw me off. I love it.
I love Canadian people, by the way. They dope. My aunt lives in my aunt lives in Toronto
so it's not because
Quebec
he's a light-skinned Canadian. That is not the reason.
But
okay, I got you.
It's not because he's Canadian. I just don't like you personally. And it's not because you light skin, because you live in Canada, fool. It's just simply I don't like you. Whatnot.
Okay.
So that's what everybody gonna think because you don't like Drake? What? Because he's light skinned and whatnot. I'm like, man, please, man.
Okay. Got you, sir. Thank you. Yes, on this show, there's no colorism. We ain't discriminating against light skins, and there's no Canadian hate. We don't hate the Canadians at all. Y'all are gentle and nice. Right. Y'all are gentle and nice people, and we love y'all. Y'all so kind. And
y'all got beautiful women over there too. Beautiful women.
Yeah,
also.
everybody's really friendly, and y'all got universal insurance.